Oh boy, it has been another one of them days. Alright, we have some of that Apollo Justice for you. Give me a moment here while I try and still get the notifications out. We had shenanigans going on. I hope you all are doing well out there. Okay, it is not finding network. Not on the network. We're just not good on the network. Really? Wow. There we go. Alright. So save that and share it out. As we do. Streaming on Twitch. Okay, alright. Something like that. It still would be nice if I could post a link in those, but like to complain. Alright, Turnabout Succession. We had just finished. Oh yes. Our interview here. Now everything has been cleared out. Except for Solitary Cell 13 in the present. So we're gonna have to break some things up. With Christoph Gavin. Sorry, sir. Prisoner Christoph Gavin is currently occupied. I see. Do you know when he'll be finished? Well... Could you go find out? Certainly, sir. Just, please wait here a moment. My apologies to the guard, but there's something I need to see. Envelope. Of course. There it is. The yellow envelope. And the sender is... Drew Mission. I was right. When I arrived at the studio, Mr. Bishop was at his desk. He seemed to be writing a letter, but he quickly sealed the envelope. It was a yellow envelope. I heard it was left at the crime scene. If this is the last letter that Drew Misham wrote, then there's something I need to do. The last thing I need to do, in fact. Here goes. Here's the stamp. Let's see if this etroquinine spray finds anything. Yeah. Oh, examine. So this was Drew Mission's messenger of death. It was this stamp, all right. No mistaking it. And his last letter was sent to Christoph Gavin. That is not the name on that envelope. Did his name change in the English bark? That is a possibility. I'm going to check the wiki. Name. No. Christoph Gavin. Japanese Kirihito Garyu. Sure. Anyway. Gotcha. The interview request came like you said it would, and you're looking into the case. I swear on my life I won't tell them about you. So please, release the spell where you put on my daughter. I'll write later with the report. Drew Mission. Spell? There's a spell on her? Who the heck? Letter from Misham added to the court record. Letter posted by Drew Misham just before dying. Poison traces found on the stand. Finally, decisive evidence. What's this? A burglar in jail? Gavin! I didn't know you moonlighted in larceny, right? Gavin, there's something I have to ask you. Can I steal your stuff? The answer is no. Apologies, but there's not much I care to discuss. Vera Misham hasn't received her verdict yet. You follow me, Gavin? There are no known survivors of atroquinine poisoning, but it never hurts to hope. Okay, I'll be leaving now then. Right, wait. Yeah, Gavin? Would you mind leaving that letter? It's private. Oh, sorry. Forgot I had it. Many thanks. Ooh, okay. Let's fisheye his chest. Oh no. We've now seen all the clues in this case. Clues I gathered over 7 long years, using my time travel powers to send some of them back into the past. Now it is time. Every story has an ending. We've come to the final chapter, the final trial. Find the truth. You're the only ones who can. Ones? Is he talking to Apollo and Drusi? To be continued. Save your current progress? Sure. Even though we really kinda just did that. It's alright. It's okay. The more safe and the better. Let's continue on. Yes. Oh, he looks mad now. Welcome to court. 7 years, all leading to one verdict. A verdict which you must decide. Is the defendant Vera Misham innocent or guilty? Innocent of murder. Guilty of forgery. The courtroom doors are opening. The trial awaits. Are you ready to begin? Oh, heck. Courtroom number 3, preparations complete. I didn't have any other option. Not really. It popped into that right away. Something inside me. Rising. Surfacing. Okay. Something important. Lost long ago. It's close now. So close. October 9, 10 a.m. District Court, Courtroom number 3. Court is now in session for the trial of Vera Misham. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Prosecution's ready to rock. Prosecutor Gavin, how is the defendant, Vera Misham's condition? Acute atroquinine poisoning. According to her physician, she could die at any time. Thus, her absence from the courtroom today. What? They can't put her on trial without her being here. It is unusual. They should wait for her to get better and do it then. It's so bureaucratic of them. That's being a little harsh. They can't delay the trial any longer. I mean, or they risk having no one left to try. A trial without a verdict can only cause grief. The records of this case and experience tell us this. Apologies to the defendant, but the show must go on. Right. If Vera dies, the trial will be cancelled. Still trying people in absentia. This is wrong. I'm not gonna let that happen. Mr. Wright told me everything that's been going on behind the curtain all these years. I'm gonna get Vera her innocent verdict while there's still time. Very well. Your opening statement, Prosecutor Gavin. The prosecution's case is unchanged by recent events. Why did Vera Misham succumb to poison? Because she couldn't live with the guilt of what she'd done.
Objection!
But Vera was poisoned with atroquinine. The exact same poison that took her father's life. Dude, that doesn't help your case. That just shows that she had access to it. What better confession could you ask for? Being the killer, she would have had access to the poison. Significant since it's rather hard to come by. That is true. In other words, I see no need for further discussion. We could have had our verdict yesterday. Well, Mr. Justice, if you have no objections, I see no reason to postpone a verdict. What we need to worry about isn't the verdict, but the trial itself. The defense holds that Vera Misham is the victim, not the killer. If that's so, then you have to prove something. She was in court, giving her testimony before us. How do you propose her killer poisoned her? Oh, and incidentally, it would be nice if you told us who her mystery killer was. The prosecution's objection is sustained. I ask the defense to prove its claims to this court. Tell us how Vera Misham was poisoned. I got two things to prove here. Who did it and how? Which did it first? So, heck on this, by the way. Yeah, what is with this David? There's an address on here, and a name I've never heard of. At least, I think so. It's too blurry to read. Okay, correct. This stamp. It's of the Gramarys, isn't it? Why did Mr. Wright give me this letter right before the trial? What could it mean? Drew Misham. Wait, Christoph Gavin, who is apparently the person who ran the job and the poisoning, also gave Vera Misham a bottle of chemical to apply to her body at regular intervals? Sus. Okay, Christoph Gavin, Phoenix Wright, Trucy Wright, Vera Misham. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna start with how, which I think is the bottle of nail polish. How did the killer poison Vera Misham? I'll focus first on the method used. Any comments before we begin, Prosecutor Gavin? Not a bottle or container of the poison was found on the defendant's body. I see. So the vector of poisoning is unknown. Is the defense prepared to prove how the poison reached Vera Mission? Yes, Your Honor. Very well. What method was used to poison Vera Mission? I'm gonna blame that. Take that! What's this? My, what a beautiful bottle. I'd like to give whoever designed that a hand. Is that nail polish? It's colorless. Ah, something the matter? No, nothing. Nothing at all. So the killer put poison in his bottle and made her drink it? As Prosecutor Gavin has told us, this is nail polish. Nail polish. It's like paint for nails. Know any women with red nails? Ah, my wife has red nails. I see. So she's been painting them all this time. Oh, yes. A woman with naturally gold lashes, eyebrows, eyelids? I forget how the thing goes. Anyway, yes. Ah, my wife has red nails. I see. So she's been painting them all this time. Let's recall yesterday's trial. Remember when Vera was testifying in the court? Court is now back in session. Vera seems pretty tense. She's practically chewing her fingernails clean off. Whenever Vera became nervous, she had a habit of biting her nails. Her nails? Ah. Prosecutor Gavin? When the prosecution had Vera examined, did they check her nails? Bailiff, have them check the defendant's nails at once. Mr. Justice? Yes? Do you know who did this? Do you know who put poison in that nail polish? Yes. That bottle belongs to Vera Mission. Why do you ask? Know someone else who might have a bottle like this? No. Just checking. Mr. Justice, you're about to accuse someone of poisoning that bottle of nail polish. Please dispense with the chatter. You realize the weight of this accusation? Here, let me show you. Understood, Your Honor. No problem. I know what I'm doing this time. Then let us ask. Who poisoned Vera Mission via her nail polish? Christophe, the Gavin. Take that! Probably. What's this? Christophe Gavin. Objection! What's your game? My bro? There's no way he could do a thing like that. He's already murdered someone else. You should know that better than anyone else. Indeed. He is behind bars. I know. However, that doesn't mean it was impossible to do what he did. What? Ask yourselves when he put the poison in the bottle. Could have been yesterday, could have been a month ago. Maybe it was a year ago? Or perhaps it was 7 years ago? But Christophe Gavin had no motive for killing this poor girl. It's simply inconceivable. Prosecutor Gavin doesn't seem to think so. That face tells me one thing. Christophe Gavin's own younger brother doesn't find it inconceivable at all. Well, Prosecutor Gavin, if you feel there is a clear and pressing need, then we may have to summon Christophe Gavin from jail as a special witness. Fine. I've known for some time that an impenetrable darkness lurked at the bottom of this. A darkness that has swallowed even myself. Okay, the defense's wish is granted. Let prisoner Christoph Gavin take the stand. Bailiff, begin proceedings to call a special witness. The witness is Christoph Gavin, currently residing in solitary cell 13 in Central Prison. Ah, Your Honor. How nice to see you again. Well, it's been quite a while, hasn't it? To what do I owe the pleasure of your company? It's not every day I'm summoned from my solitary cell. In fact, it's never.
Hold on, it literally was when Phoenix was there. He was already out of his cell. Back. I think you already know, Mr. Christoph Gavin.
Ah, Mr. Justice. I hear you've been doing quite well for yourself.
Why do I feel like somehow he's still my boss?
Stiff upper lip, Apollo. You can do it.
Does this bottle look familiar?
Ariadne nail polish? Why, yes, I use it myself. As did the late defendant, I hear.
She's not dead yet.
And was there something concerning this bottle you wish to ask me about? I admit I respect her for her taste in nail polish.
Her taste, indeed. This nail polish was how Vera Mission was poisoned.
Atroquinine, was it? You're well informed about the case, Mr. Gavin. Even in solitary, much comes to my desk, and I have nothing to do but read. Well, Clavier?
Clavier?
Maybe you can explain this? You're being accused again. By him. Again. And? You agree with his accusation, do you? Let's hold a proper trial, shall we? Christoph Gavin, your testimony, please. I'd be delighted. The charges against you are quite severe, Mr. Gavin. You are suspected of the poisoning of the defendant, Vera Mission. Please testify on this matter to the court. Witness testimony. Poisoning Vera. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I've been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear. The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father too?
Well, yes.
Well, I'm afraid the defense's claim is sounding rather unlikely. Naturally. For one, I don't even know the Missions. Isn't that so, Mr. Justice? Very well, Mr. Justice, begin your cross-examination.
I'm accusing Christoph Gavin, my ex-boss. But I know he poisoned the Missions. The question is, when could he have done it? Not to mention, why?
Poisoning Vera. Owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. We can also perceive shenanigans, okay?
Tell me, is this nail polish expensive? Ariadne is a nail polish of the highest order. Not only is it fabulously expensive, but it is made in extremely limited quantities. And you and Vera just happened to both use it? That can't be a coincidence.
Objection!
I'm guessing it's not a coincidence. Huh? It's simple. Ariadne is the best nail polish one can buy, correct? Then, if one wanted the best nail polish, one would buy it. That makes sense. Why, it's a bit like my feelings toward my brand name gavel here. And my silk top hat. Are we all done showing off our refined tastes? Please continue with your tasteful testimony. I've been in solitary confinement for half a year. How could I poison her? Can't you still make contact with the outside world in solitary?
Objection!
So we had an accomplice on the outside? Is this your latest accusation? I'm allowed a certain modicum of letter writing.
Objection!
But the contents of those letters are closely checked. It would be extremely difficult to send a hit request. Prosecutor Gavin's on the warpath, isn't he? Yeah, you think so too, Trucy? I bet I know why. He must be nervous with Big Brother watching. Maybe that's a weakness I can turn to my advantage. Are we cool with that? May I continue? Her father died of the same poison, the meaning of which should be clear.
Hold it!
The defendant is not dead yet. There are no known cases of someone surviving atroquinine poisoning. You seem to know a lot about atroquinine. I know a lot about a lot of things, which is why I suggest we pick up the pace, or else you'll be short one defendant for what she's worth. The witness will refrain from speaking ill of the ill. My apologies. Shall I continue? The prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father, then attempted to poison herself.
Hold it!
Vera had no reason to want to commit suicide, so that's not how that works. And also, who would commit suicide by doing their nails? Again, I believe statistically women are more likely to resort to poison as the weapon. I don't know how significant that is, but I mean, how statistically significant.
Objection!
The answer's quite simple. Basically, allow me to explain, beginning with, why did she do it? The answer's quite simple. She couldn't live with her own guilt. Next, why did she use nail polish to poison herself? This, too, is simple. So she could die doing something that she liked. Something that she liked? When she saw that the trial wasn't going her way, she knew she would die. And it's not easy to bring poison into a courtroom. Must I explain further? I believe that's clear enough. Crystal clear. Wow, the two brothers together is like a two-man wrecking team. You need a little more teamwork, though. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father, too? I mean, I kind of was.
Hold
Both Vera and Mr. Mission were poisoned with tetraquinine. That really can't be a coincidence.
Objection!
The defense is repeating fallacious statements based on conjecture. The prosecution requests concrete, unambiguous proof of the witness's crime. Objection sustained. The defense will please present concrete proof. Does Prosecutor Gavin seem strange to you too? It's like he's all grown up. I think it's how prosecutors are supposed to be, actually. He is acting different than usual. I bet it has a lot to do with his brother Kristoff being in the room. Well, let's make this testimony count, Paulo. Right, quick and painless. My bracelet should do the trick. Okay, questioning my ex-boss. His testimony seems watertight, but he is lying. I'm sure I'll be able to see something, as long as I focus. Okay. So this is the facial expression change. Let's go ahead and try perceiving thing. Surely you aren't going to suggest I was responsible for poisoning her father too? Are those twitching knuckles? Are those ever so slightly twitching knuckles? They sure seem very solid. Her father too.
Gotcha!
Oof. Mr. Gavin, you're nervous about something. There is that finger pointing at me so rudely. Ah. And that desperate gleam in your eyes. It's quite disturbing, actually. Perhaps because you have no faith in your own logic, which is why you cling to your dubious power. Confident or not, I've come a long way, Mr. Gavin. Just a little more to go. I need a word. There must be some word that sends shivers down his spine. Surely you aren't going to... Okay, so a word, you say. What do you mean, a word? Hold on. Okay, so I have to go for... I didn't mean to do that one. I meant to hit the other one. The present. Stab. Anyway, I am going to suggest it, and I'm going to use this letter as my evidence.
Objection!
Nope. This evidence clearly reveals a contradiction in that statement, Your Honor. How exactly are the evidence in the statement just now related? Well, you see, a letter was sent that he owns, and it's got the poison on it, and the bark, aren't, are they? Not at all. Mr. Justice, please think the facts over before making accusations. I don't think that won me any points with the judge. I am going to suggest it. Okay, what else do I have evidentially wise? I mean, I could show that owning the same nail polish does not a murderer make. I haven't really used this for anything. Mission D. Got a name on both sides. What's that about? Let's see here. Wait a minute. Oh, this shows. There is the stamp, but the stamp isn't really evidence. You know, it's true. I don't know. This. Solitary confinement for half a year. Father died of the same poison. Prosecution's case holds. She poisoned her father and then attempted to poison herself. I am going to suggest it, but I don't know how I'm going to talk about it in video game terminology. You see. Do you see what I'm saying? Let's explore. Doom, 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 doom. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, bum. Yes, we got that. Oh. Wait. So there was more? Wait, what? Hold on. I have to present or perceive something else? Oh. Oh, heck! Why is your hand a death's head?
Gotcha!
It was you who killed Drew Misham. A bluff worthy of your new mentor, Mr. Wright. Oh, really? But you see, I saw it. Right when you said her father, too. Your hand tensed unnaturally, and a little devil appeared to give me the news. And let's assume, for the sake of argument, that you saw me being tense. What does that mean? Are all tense witnesses guilty? And tell me, was Drew Misham fond of nail polish too? Sorry, but there's more than one way to poison a man. You don't need nail polish to get to someone's mouth. Ah. Then I must be very talented indeed. You see, Drew Misham was killed on October 6. While I was already in my solitary confinement cell at Central Prison. If that's not an alibi, then I don't know what is. But you found a way, I'll say. And I found it too. This is how you poison Mr. Misham. With the letter, right? This is where I show the letter? Tell me this is where I show the letter, yes, Bark? Or just the stamp itself? Sent from the real client, yes.
sure this commemorative stamp requires no introduction. The night Mr. Misham died, he was seen writing a letter. Metroquinine was found on this stamp, Mr. Gavin. So am I to understand this stamp was the murder weapon? Yes, you are. Oh, and yes, this stamp was found in your prison cell. Expecting psyche locks right there. That is all, Your Honor.
Order, order, order. Poison on the back of that stamp.
After Drew Mission was killed, someone paid a visit to this witness's cell. Phoenix Wright. Daddy? That's when he found the stamp. You made Drew Mission write you a letter. That's how you killed him.
What? My. You've upset my poor brother to the point of uselessness. Allow me to clarify this matter, Justice. All you need do is recall witness Spark Brushell's testimony.
Well, that's the thing, see? After he put his letter in that envelope, Mr. Misham sat there searching his desk drawer for something. His desk drawer? Yes, a stamp. A so-called postage stamp, end quote.
He was looking for a stamp. Ergo, he had no intention of using this stamp.
What are you getting at?
Oh, come on. What I'm arriving at is that this commemorative stamp was in a frame. It was mere coincidence that he used it that night. That would seem to be the case. Or perhaps you mean to suggest that I can somehow manipulate coincidence? He does have a point. How would this witness know if the victim was going to use that stamp? Without that, he couldn't have planned the murder.
What?
Really, Clavia? You should be seeing through these weak-spined bluffs by now.
He's right, though. Oh, Kami. Hey, howdy. Welcome in, welcome in. How could anyone have known Mr. Mason would use that stamp that night? Least of all, Christoph Gavin locked away in his cell.
Well, it seems the defense has run out of things to say.
You assume he had something to say in the first place. I believe the defense's bluff has been called. The defense's bluff? I'm not sure I agree with you there, Christoph. Clavia? Honestly, I wanted to believe you, but the defense wasn't trying to get away with a bluff. You were, Christoph.
What are you saying, Prosecutor Gavin?
Herr Forehead, what was your accusation again? Huh? Oh, was that... This poisoned stamp killed Drew Mission, yeah? To which my brother responded thusly. There was no way to know when Mission would use the stamp.
Yes, that's right, which is why it couldn't have been planned.
It wasn't planned for any particular time, but it was still planned. Tell me, it needs to be planned. Why? It can be planned without being scheduled. There's your distinction. Why couldn't it have been a coincidence? The defense's case is simply that Drew Mission died by that stamp. That's all. Coincidence?
Kristoff, you tried to slip out from under his accusation by changing the subject. If that's not bluffing, what is it? What are you up to, Clavia? I could ask you the same question, Kristoff. I silenced the defense with the fewest words possible. It's called efficiency. But Mr. Gavin, that's impermissible testimony. Very well. I shall take his claim head on then. Justice.
What?
You accuse me of Drew Misham's murder, yes? Then allow me to ask you, what possible reason could I have to kill a painter? Apollo, motive! He's talking about a motive! Indeed. It's hard to see how an attorney could come to want to kill a painter.
Now here's something. Why didn't he bring up the motive from the very beginning? Unless he was afraid it was a battle he might lose.
So, what does it mean? Alright, so what do I got that shows motive? There was the original envelope, which shows $100,000 for shenanigans, and then the stamp it comes from that. From the real client. Wait. So, what does it mean?
That means there might be a weak spot. Maybe I have some evidence to prove a motive.
The motive for murder. This is a vital, if not the most vital element in this case. Please consider this when making your statement. I'd say it's about this vital. No, the demonstration that yes, it is 2 bars of vitality.
That's pretty vital.
Well, Mr. Justice?
I'm going through with this no matter what. I think it's a red envelope. Understood, Your Honor. I'd like to present evidence.
Then let's see what you have for us. What reason did Kristoff Gavin have for wanting to murder Drew Misham? Yeah, see, also... he hired him to do the false testimony.
His last name is Justice and he became a lawyer. That's a bit on the nose. Hey, nominative determinism happens all the time. And, you know, back in the day, people got their surnames from what they actually did. So, anyway. Kristoff Gavin's motive becomes clear when we consider why the stamp came to Drew Misham's studio in the first place.
And why was that?
Forgery, Your Honor. Go back 7 years. Drew Misham accepts his first job creating forged evidence.
I've seen that before. A page from a diary, wasn't it? Magnify Gramarye's diary? When Attorney Phoenix Wright lost his badge, yes. This was the evidence he presented, to his loss.
This evidence is a fake, yes. But did Mr. Wright request the forgery be made? That was never proven.
Objection!
The defense attorney on that case was Phoenix Wright. Who, other than him, drunk with the prospect of victory, could have done it? And why would they?
Just out of curiosity, do you remember this letter? This is the first page. Blurp. And this is the second.
Those were presented in court yesterday. This letter was sent to Drew Mission by the client who requested that forgery. The enclosed stamp was none other than a poisoned commemorative stamp. Drew Mission drew his last breath just the other day. However, the motive for his murder was already 7 years old. 7 years old? The client who requested this forgery was very cautious. He tried to erase anything and anyone with connections to the forgery. To keep them from talking. But he made a mistake.
The stamp was a fake picture of my favorite magicians, so I kept it. My father took me when I was very young. It was a great magic show. I loved it so much.
The killer's time bomb was delayed. The poison stamp was sealed in a glass frame, where it sat for 7 whole years. Her forehead. Do you understand what you're telling us? The one who schemed up the forged diary page was the one who poisoned the stamp. And it was Phoenix Wright who presented the forged evidence 7 years ago. Adding the two statements together, the one who schemed to kill Drew Mission was none other than Phoenix Wright.
Objection!
Sorry, but that's not how this is going to go down. Oh, then how will it go down? I checked through the records on that case when I found this. 7 years ago, just before the trial began.
Oh, old boy. Here.
What's this?
I don't know. I just got it over there in the hall. They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with spiky hair.
And one more thing. I'm sorry to have sprung this on you so suddenly. I received the files from your previous attorney only yesterday. I understand I'm asking the impossible of you. Yes, well, you haven't really told me what happened yet. All we did was play cards. And that was enough. Phoenix Wright was put on the case the day before the trial started. He didn't have time to request a forgery. The day before? Now here's a question. Just who was Shady Enigmar's previous defense attorney? No. This can't all be. But it is all true. There was another man, a defense attorney with a badge on his collar. It was you, Christoph Gavin. Order, order, order. What is the meaning of this, witness? I mean, defendant, former lawyer? Let me begin by denying this.
Objection!
It's easy enough to look up, Mr. Gavin. And impossible to prove if you can't. Huh? Attorneys are registered with court the day before the trial begins. In other words, no record remains in the court. How exactly did you intend to prove Phoenix Wright's claim? That would be difficult. I'm afraid this line of inquiry won't yield.
Objection!
Her forehead. Are you sure you don't have evidence? Ooh, do I? Do I? It's a good question. Okay, so we're looking for evidence that, evidence that Phoenix didn't know about the trial beforehand. Do I have that kind of evidence? Well, the envelope is not... This is about the 7 years ago trial. This didn't exist 7 years ago. Magic Show. Grammary Magic Incorporated. Yeah, it spins. Huh? What's wrong with Prosecutor Gavin? He looks clammy. Evidence. Evidence that shows this man, Christoph Gavin, requested that forgery 7 years ago. Oh, that evidence. Yes, we can do that, yeah. Flavia. Just prove it. Clear up these doubts and now, or I swear I'm off this case. He must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Okay, so that is the red envelope, right? Well, no, we don't know who sent it. Well, no, we do. So the yellow letter is the response. But it has a fake name on it. So that's problematic for our cause. He must have thought of some evidence, Apollo. Prosecutor Gavin looks like he's in physical pain. That darkness. I have to pull that darkness out of him. And proof is the only way I can. What proves Christoph Gavin's link to Drew Misham? Well, Mr. Justice, you claim Christoph Gavin requested a forgery of Drew Misham 7 years ago. Prove it. It can be proven. Simply ridiculous. Why even discuss it? This evidence does not...
Objection!
Are you telling the truth, Apollo Justice? I am. Then I say we give him the benefit of the doubt. Very well, but if you're wrong about this, be prepared for a penalty.
Objection!
Your Honor, you do the defense an injustice. Mr. Justice is clearly passionate about his claim. Should the penalty not match his passion? I haven't given a penalty like that in a long time. Well, Mr. Justice? Fine, Your Honor. All I have to prove is any kind of link. Something that ties Christoph Gavin to Drew Misham. And I have something that clearly does the job. It's gotta be the yellow letter. Very well, Mr. Justice. Present your evidence. You mean save? Thank you, back. Show us the link between our witness and Drew Misham. Alright, I think it's the yellow envelope. But I want to check that first so we don't actually die. Yeah, I believe so. Okay.
Take that!
Legit strat. This evidence proves there's a link.
Objection!
That scrap of paper I'm afraid I can't let you submit that.
Is there some problem? Is it also forged evidence? It was created by a forger. Now we're doomed. Look what happens when you don't follow the rules of evidence law. Is there some problem?
There is. How could you possibly have that? You couldn't.
Hey, I've got a time-traveling lawyer on my side. Hmm?
Hey, that's Daddy's handwriting.
Now, I'm just wondering, Apollo said Phoenix caught him up on all the stuff. Does Apollo at this time know that he is Trucy's half-brother?
Also, you can't do that when Phoenix is someone that the witness is trying to finger on this. To have her say, that's Daddy's handwriting.
Wait, Mr. Wright's handwriting? What is the meaning of this? Ah, I see now. Yes, of course.
Why is it? Whichever Daddy it is, it's a mess.
What do you mean, of course? I just remembered I had a visitor yesterday. Phoenix Wright came to my cell, except I wasn't there. Phoenix Wright? When I returned, I saw he had something of mine in his possession. Of course, I had no intention of letting him get away with reading my private mail. Mail? You mean this letter was in your cell? No. However, it appears Mr. Wright has yet to be cured of his bad forging habit. Well, if it's a forgery, it's not a very good one. The handwriting is terrible.
This is Mr. Wright's reproduction of what was written in the real letter. Oh, right, because he had to give it back. Okay.
Reproduction.
In other words, a forgery. When Mr. Wright visited Christoph Gavin's cell, he brought with him a small video camera.
What?
Does this state allow recording without two-sided consent?
What?
He recorded his entire conversation with you, Mr. Gavin, and the contents of your personal mail.
Regardless, this mockery of a piece of evidence will never be accepted by the court. Evidence based on a video of a man with no authority whatsoever claims he took. A man who happens to be an ex-attorney suspected of forgery. Prosecutor Gavin?
Prosecutor Gavin?
As embarrassing as this is for me to say, I'm afraid my brother is incapable of making rational judgments at the moment. Your Honor, your decision, please. The defense's claim is denied.
What?
Only actual evidence is permitted in a court of law. Please remove the defense's evidence from the record. Better luck next time, Justice.
We're doomed.
Well, we've certainly taken a detour from our cross-examination. But the defense appears to be lacking proof. I'm forced to end the cross-examination of Christoph Gavin at this point.
Paulo, do something!
I'm thinking, but without evidence, I don't have anything I can use on him.
Very well, this ends the special witness's cross-examination.
Objection!
Is it Phoenix?
No. The show's over, yet the crowd screams for more. Only now do I understand why. Prosecutor Gavin? Frankly, I'm relieved. This has been bothering me for 7 whole years, and I'm tired of the whole youthful angst scene. Now's our chance. Let's clean out the family closet, eh, Christoph? Flavia, you're spinning out of control. Calm yourself before you say something you'll regret. Spinning out of whose control? Mine or yours? Take a moment to consider everything you've built. Your reputation as a prosecutor, your fame with the masses. You could lose it all, Clavia.
Apollo, did you see that? He's trying to press Prosecutor Gavin.
Prosecutor Gavin, try to remember. What's really important to you?
You amuse me, Hair Forehead.
Was that Apollo trying to do the anime, send me your energy sort?
You amuse me, Hair Forehead. I couldn't forget what's really important to me, even if I tried. In fact, I haven't. Not even once. 7 years ago, I had sunglasses. Finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Hair Right?
Resist what? Presenting solid evidence?
Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. State your name and occupation for the record.
I'm familiar with the trial. I've watched the video several times.
Didn't you find anything unnatural about it? Unnatural?
Well, you did seem unusually well prepared. I mean, Mr. Wright had only just presented his evidence. And the next moment you call in Drew Misham, it was almost as if...
Almost as if what?
Ah. Funny, it didn't even occur to me to wonder. But now that I do, I see there's only one possible explanation. Almost as if, from the very beginning, you knew Mr. Wright was going to present that evidence.
Ah. Correct. I knew that if I applied the usual pressure, Phoenix Wright would eventually come up with that forged diary page. Don't do this, Clavia. I knew because you told me, Christoph.
What? Are we gonna put the prosecutor on the witness stand?
It was the night before the trial.
Flavia.
Christoph? Odd seeing you at the prosecutor's office the day before the trial. Ah, I won't be appearing in the trial, actually. Huh? Why not? I won't be facing off with you on your first trial, apparently. But in exchange, I brought information.
Is Christoph being the first person in the whole game to recuse himself for conflict of interest?
But in exchange, I brought information. Information? The attorney who'll be there in my place tomorrow is not to be trusted. Don't even give him the benefit of your respect. Listen. I want you to call in a special witness. Then I wondered about it at the time. How did Kristoff know so much? So here's the problem. Nothing in that says that Phoenix didn't actually forge that. Prosecutor Gavin. Kristoff. We were supposed to face each other in that trial. A fair fight, brother to brother. I deserved that much. You let me borrow the victim's belongings. You showed me all your research on the case. The victim's belongings? Which would have included Magnify's diary, wouldn't it? Mr. Gavin? My, Calavia. You disappoint me. You find trees, yet miss the forest. You're the one missing the forest, Mr. Gavin. You can't sweep this under the rug. Not anymore. Tell me what was going on behind that trial. Why not? I've achieved what I came here to do. I see no harm in a little reminiscing. Apollo? I think we're finally gonna shine a light on the black belly of this thing, Trucy. We've done everything we could. I hope it's enough. Is something wrong with bellies? 7 years ago, the day before the trial, I visited the detention center at the request of my client, Zach Gramarye. 2 cards. 1 card. Showdown. Showdown time. Enough. You lose, Gavin. Thanks for the work. Now go. All right. He only lets himself be defended by people who play cards right. To be honest, I don't know what his reasons were to this day. As far as I could tell, he dismissed me as his representation because I lost in a game of poker. I can come to no other conclusion. Daddy used to say something. If you want to know a man, you have to compete. Zach wasn't watching his points or the cards. He was watching the man behind the cards, Kristoff Gavin. I couldn't believe it. Phoenix Wright, a second-rate attorney who relies on luck and bluffs. He dismissed me and went with that pitiful excuse for a man. He deserved to die for that error alone. Hold it. So, the one who requested that forgery was... Oh, I'm not admitting to anything. My point is, these 2 men shamed me, and I could not forgive that. Oh, this is your motive. Is revenge for not being chosen for the Jord? Phoenix Wright and Zach Gramarye both deserved what they got. Oh dear. So, you asked Mr. Misham to forge that evidence? So you could win? But then when you were dismissed as Zach Gramarye's attorney, you used your forged evidence as a trap. You fed me information about the forgery you made. Then you gave your dirty evidence to him. You're free to imagine what you will. My point is that all I had imagined came to pass. Everything went perfectly. All according to Keikaku. Ha! Ha ha ha. Incredible. If I wasn't laughing, I'd weep. Prosecutor Gavin? Perfectly. You're mad, Kristoff. Stop fooling yourself. What are you talking about, Calavia? Tell me, how did that trial end? Cancelled, when the defendant vanished. Ah, I get it. So, Kristoff, you've been living in fear for 7 years. What? You were afraid your forgery would be revealed and your reputation trashed. You couldn't leave things to chance, so you watched everyone involved with the case for 7 years. You know, it felt like he was being watched. That's what he said every day for 7 years. But I felt it too. Journalist jury is being watched, end quote. Don't you wonder why Zach Grabner got rubbed out after 7 years? Right after coming into contact with me? Wait just a minute. Zach Grabner was seen by this reporter? How is that possible? Was he alive after being gone 7 years? Fine. I knew this moment was coming. I just didn't think we'd get here so fast. Zach Gramry, gone missing for 7 years. Drewsy's father. What's wrong, Apollo? Go get him. Right, leave it to me. Allow me to refresh the court's memory. 6 months ago, Christoph Gavin was charged with murdering a mysterious traveler. I remember him quite well. Shady Smith, was it? Poison in a Chinese restaurant. Tragic. The details don't really matter right now. It was a Russian restaurant. What matters is that traveler was Zach Gramery. What is it, Apollo? Huh? Keep going. We'll talk about it later. Huh? Did she already know? She recognizes her dad. Someone please explain this. Mr. Justice, can you explain this? It all started 7 years ago. The great magician, Magnify Gramery's death started. Magnify Gramery's death? And his student, Zach Gramery, the suspect? Whoever defended Zach in court successfully would be famous beyond belief. Thinking that, Christoph Gavin did the unthinkable. He forged evidence. Drew mission. Actually, it was his daughter Vera who really did the work. You took precautions when you had that forgery made, didn't you, Mr. Gavin? Precautions? To keep people from talking, of course. These two know too much. Leave them alive and there'll be nothing but trouble. That's when you planned your poisoning of the forgers. Tetraquinine applied to a commemorative stamp. But luck was on Mr. Mishim's side. The bomb didn't go off. His daughter. She saved him by taking the stamp. I see. But that wasn't the only bomb he set up. The Ariadne nail polish, of course. You noticed something when you requested that forgery. When Vera Mishima is nervous, she has a bad habit. A tendency to bite her nails. Ah. That nail polish was her good luck charm. except that it wasn't.
She was almost kidnapped once. Since then, she's been... well, you can see for yourself. She refuses to leave the house. That person gave me a good luck charm for when I absolutely had to go outside. It protects me. Yes, apparently she received something, a gift. She won't tell me what it was. It was from that client, the one who wanted a note made.
It was his insurance.
Insurance?
As long as she lived quietly at home, there was no danger to her. What if she had to go outside?
If she ran into any trouble, she'd become nervous. And the nail polish would do the rest.
His time bomb sat there for 7 years. And then they went off almost simultaneously.
If you've finished, may I return to my cell now? I'm not I'm not accustomed to standing for such long periods of time.
Mr. Gavin, have you heard a single thing we've said?
Oh, I listened quite closely to your little tale. Quite an entertaining piece of fiction.
What?
Flavia, surely you understand. We're back to the evidence. The lacking evidence. Nothing proves a link between him and the etroquinine that took Drew Mission's life.
Objection!
What about the restaurant? You killed Zach Grammer. To keep him from talking.
I killed no man of that name. Read over the report again if you like. The victim was a traveler by the name of Shady Smith, about whom we know little else. You can't seriously think I knew he was that particular fugitive?
Objection!
Okay, then why did you kill him?
I plead my right to remain silent. Remember, this court did not convene to put me on trial. The defendant's name is Vera Mission, suspected in the murder of her father. My trial's been finished for 6 months now. I'm afraid we've strayed considerably from our purpose here. This court concurs with the witness. It is defendant Vera Mission who is on trial here.
No, but you were doing so well, Apollo.
As long as there is no evidence to support the accusation against him, this course of inquiry cannot find Vera Mission innocent.
Objection!
Your Honor, Phoenix Wright spent 7 years collecting this evidence.
Objection!
You still don't get it, do you?
Huh.
Let us assume there was poison in the nail polish. Who then was responsible for causing Vera Mission to bite her nails?
What?
It wasn't me, I know that much.
Well, if you did kill the father,
Then yeah.
gem time. Hey, howdy, welcome in, welcome in.
Back. It wasn't me, I know that much. The one who brought that poison to her lips was you.
What? What? What?
Evidence is everything. There is nothing more. I believe this discussion has reached its conclusion.
Really? I think he was just opening up a whole can of worms.
Your Honor. Mr. Justice, you have performed admirably well for a novice attorney. I respect your partner, Phoenix Wright's determination as well. However, without direct proof, you have nothing. Isn't that right, Clavia? Unfortunately, yes, Kristoff, you're right. That is, you would have been right until now.
Huh?
What? Did the news not reach your desk in solitary? The eyes of the nation are on this courtroom today. This is the trial case for a new judicial system.
That's right. I'd totally forgotten. The jurist system.
Jurist, you say? The current judicial system has been deemed too closed off from society. This new system attempts to inject the wisdom of common citizens into the law. Common citizens? Wisdom? Is this some kind of a joke? What could we possibly gain by doing this? Entrusting our judicial system to a mindless, emotional mob of irrational mouth breathers? Yeah, that's really ingratiating yourself with the jury. Common citizens have something called common sense. Common sense is not restricted by the law. Nonsense. There is only room for two in this court. Me and the law. Keep the riffraff out. Out, I say. Well, again, definitely not winning any points with the jury. They're not in the court, actually. They're watching everything by video camera. How can you allow this?
Incidentally, the one responsible for making this happen is Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright? Kaboom! So, everything was leading to this. Of course. Right. Right. Poor fella. I won't accept. I can't accept. This is no court.
Hydrate, yeah, we could do that. Thank you, Utterish Brown. Like,
this is no court. Law. The law is everything. Law is absolute. You'd let ignorant swine soil your courts? Kristoff, it's over. Clavia? The law is absolute. You can't be serious. What? Odd. I thought you spent your life looking for loopholes. The law isn't absolute. It's filled with contradictions. The law is the end product of many years of history, the fruit of human knowledge, like a gem polished to gleam through trials and errors. It is this fruit we receive and pass on and face in our time, and it is always changing, growing, Nurturing it is our task as human beings. Except for you, Kristoff. You aren't changing. You've stopped.
You're not needed anymore. I couldn't think of anything to say. Maybe because I still haven't seen enough? But someday I'll know what law is. Oh no. And I'll fight to change if I have to.
I see no need to further prolong this trial. This began as a trial of Vera Misham accused of murdering her father, the painter Drew Misham. However, several other incidents were reviewed, and we seem to have reached a conclusion. Before this court declares a verdict, I await your decision, jurists of the court. For the death of Drew Misham, how do you find the defendant, Vera Misham? Innocent or guilty? I turn to you now to consider this matter.
Oh dear. Okay. Is this over, or how? We were supposed to switch over to Mario Maker, but this is happening. This is so happening. We want to end it. We're going to keep going. And I apologize to all the Mario fans out there. I hope you all are doing okay.
Big trial.
Big trial. Big game. So much doom.
October 9, 12:48 p.m., Jurist's Chambers. This ends the trial for this case. Only the verdict remains to be decided. Defendant Vera Misham is currently in intensive care. If a decision cannot be reached today, it may never be reached. The factors involved are simple. Did the defendant poison her father that night? If so, she is guilty. Or was there another reason for Mr. Misham's death? Did another person poison him? If so, she is innocent. A panel has been provided for each of you to input your decisions. That is all.
Please, wait. Number 6.
Yes, jurist number 6?
There's something in the jurist handbook here. Persons involved with the case may not be jurists.
That is correct. I've looked into all your dossiers.
So, first off, okay, here, again. Finally, people are trying to deal with conflict of interest. Because that's been too huge in these backpacks.
I've looked into all of your dossiers. None of you were involved with the development of the case.
But are they all friends of Vera or something? With the development of the case? I see.
Does that answer your concern? It's time for your verdicts.
Who are these jurists? This is shady dealings.
Make your decision in the case against Vera Misham. After 7 years, the truth is ready to be heard. Judge wisely. Judge well.
Select. Jurist number 6. Wait, that's... Oh no. Wait, do I have to do the choosing? Why am I doing the choosing? What does this even mean? This is, Heck, I forget her name. The singer. La Miquois. Well, I mean, of course, why would we choose guilty? Why would we do that?
That's ridiculous. Oh no. Oh, good heck. I mean, of course. Am I gonna confirm not guilty? Midnight? No. La Miroir. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! The whole time! La Miroir is also Thalassa? Was also Apollo's mother? The whole time? With the amnesia and the bark? And so a verdict was reached on October 9, 2:14 p.m. The first verdict under the jurist system. Innocent by unanimous decision. The record will show that when the verdict was announced, special witness Christoph Gavin laughed. A laugh louder than any ever heard before or since. A laugh that echoed in the halls of justice, lingering for what seemed like hours. October 10, 8:30 a.m., the morning after the trial. In an intensive care ward, a true miracle occurred. Vera Mission opened her eyes. October 10, 10:12 a.m., Hickfield Clinic. Vera, I'm so glad. Don't cry, Apollo. I'm happy too, and proud. You did well, Apollo. When I thought about what if Vera... Hey now, don't you start crying too. Sorry you had to see us like this. Vera? Thank you so much, Apollo. Thank you. No, I'm sorry. I shouldn't have pressed you like that. If I hadn't, you never would have bitten your nails. No, I was wrong. Staying locked inside like that, clinging to my good luck charm. Vera. When I opened my eyes and saw you, I finally understood. It's important to be part of the world, to see things with your own eyes. It looks like that poison had some effect after all. It killed off whatever was holding Vera back from life. I knew you'd pull through, Vera. I mean, that's what Apollo was fighting for the whole time. Your future. I won't forget it. Here, let me thank you. No, really, it's okay. Ooh, look, it's me. I love it. Thanks. Is that me? She really captured your essence, Apollo? Well, I think so, at least. That reminds me. Do you know where the other lawyer is? The other lawyer? Oh, you mean Daddy. Except he's not a lawyer anymore. It's my fault, isn't it? I'm sorry. Oh, no. That's not what I meant. No, it's okay. I'm through looking away from the things I've done. I hope I can look him in the eyes again someday and apologize. I'm sure he'd be happy to hear that. He brought all those things for me when he came to visit earlier. You mean that stack of videos? Mr. Wright finished watching them all? And brought them all back here just so that the artist wouldn't have to draw another scene? You know, I knew my real daddy was alive. Huh? I was there 7 years ago, remember? I was the one who helped him vanish from the courtroom. You did what? How? I'm not telling. He promised me that day he went away. We may not meet again for some time, Trucy. But know this, I will be watching, and one day I shall return. You're the next Grammary, after all. Oh, Trucy. In the end, he couldn't keep that promise, could he? It's okay. Phoenix is my daddy now, even if he can't really play the piano. That he can't. Oh, and I've got you too, even if your voice is kind of loud sometimes. Glad I made your list. Hey, come to think of it, where is Daddy, the one who can't play? Do you know Apollo? I think he said he had to meet someone. I wonder. Maybe it's a new mommy. Oh, Trucy? Yes, Vera? I was wondering, could you show him to me once more? Is Sir Hat, was it? Oh, he's not been knighted, yet. Here goes. Do an impersonation, Mr. Hat. Objection! Not loud enough. I like Miss Magic underwear better anyway. That's magic panties, Apollo. Kids these days and their magic panties. So, your memory's returned. I don't even remember how we had a talk. Mr. Wright, was this all part of your plan, too? I don't know what you're talking about. When I lost my memory, I was reborn as La Miroir. But you knew my true identity, did you not? That is why you chose me as one of your jurists. You're thinking into it too much. Besides, there was no guarantee that regaining your memory would make you happy. Of course, it is a happy thing. For so long, I thought I was alone. But now I know I have children. 2 dear children. I'm so proud of them. This, too, I think, is thanks to you. Are you going to tell them? They do not know? Nope. They don't know their mother. They don't even know their siblings. Phoenix, you have to tell them this soon. I will go to them when the time is right. Until then, Don't worry, I'll take care of them for you. They're very important to me, too. A little annoying at times, but still. I have to keep an eye on her at least. Because I'm the only one who knows how she really feels. On the inside. Your bracelet. Yes? I've seen a lot of mysterious things these past 7 years. But your bracelets were the strangest of all. I remember meeting him half a year ago now in Christoph Gavin's office. And then I met you. 2 fates destined to intertwine, and I was there when they crossed. I'll never forget that. It's such a small thing, that bullet, yet it tore who I was away. "10 years ago, during a simple rehearsal. It was a miracle no one died, but I didn't survive that accident. That is why I left the troupe, my family. Now my memory has returned. I am myself once more. For the first time, I am glad to be alive, Mr. Wright. Speaking of miracles, Vera Misham regained consciousness this morning. I can only hope she's as glad as you are. It is a strange thing, fate. Sometimes a life is taken. Sometimes a life is spared. You know what I've been thinking? People don't die that easily, really. As long as they've got something worth living for. Would that it were true. And that's pretty much the end of my story. For now, anyway. I still got a long way to go. And this power of mine, well, it needs some work. But there's hope now. We lost it, but somehow we found it again. That's why people are smiling again. Hope. Yeah, I think I'll keep with this lawyer thing for a while. Oops, training time. Gotta go. Cords of steel, here comes justice. Alright. Director Mitsuru Endo.
I'm glad you're staying with the agency, Apollo. It's like I found my long-lost big little brother. Oh, and don't you worry about Troop Grammary. Trucy's on the case.
GG, yes.
Now that I have this, thanks to Daddy.
Trucy Grammary. Frankly, I got my doubts, but half Grammary? Now that'll pack him in.
Planning, Takeshi Yamazaki, Keisuke Yamakawa.
It's not every day you get a trial that rocks harder than one of our gigs, yeah? That's why it's over. The Gaviners are breaking up. The news caused a run on tissues at supermarkets nationwide. You're the real stars now. I look forward to our next jam session.
Design art by Kazuya Nuri. Akiko Nishizawa, Kojiro Ogiwara, Tatsuro Iwaho. Well, it's finally over. You know, thinking about it, I've been a piano player longer than I was a lawyer. Now that everything's sorted, and I've got time on my hands, maybe I'll take some lessons. Or maybe I'll take the bar exam. Again. Graphics, Tetsuya Enomoto, Norihide Fuji, Mio Koyashi. Ah, Musky Yamamoto, Takenori Kimoto, Tadashi Noyama. Shuichi Muramoto, Hiyoko Takeya. So, I was standing around, eating snackoos the other day, when I got this crazy idea. What if they were golden? You could augment the crunch, or better yet, make them ding. Ah, the power of science. Although the preservatives might not be 100% safe. Background graphics, Chie Nakayama. Hirotada Miyatake, Yuko Nakadai, Rika Kono. In unlikely event you are wanting Russian feast, come to Borscht Bowl Club. The only thing colder than restaurant is borscht. Da, but if greater challenge is being required, then come to the hideout. You know what to ask for. Programming, Toshihiko Honda. Nobuhito Shimizu, Naomi Nishiyama. Takashi Nishimura, Kei Hashimoto. So, Kitaki Pastries is getting back to its Eastern roots. Spread the culture and all. Yo, boss, culture time. This is how we write root, capiche? But we're still about giving back to the people. Yo, boss, PR time. And this is how we write people, alright? I don't remember. Not that Waki's paying any attention. Oh, kids. Yeah, that was too long ago. Music, Toshihiko Horiyama, Hideki Okugawa. Bizarre.
Chinese characters on cake was a fly idea like 3,000 years ago. Man, you want to make it today, you gotta keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's why I made the OG cracker, for real. No, it don't look like no cracker, G. What, do you want me to call it the OG muffin?
Oh no.
Sound effects. Yoshiki Sando, Atsuko Fujitani. I don't know where all this talk about food is coming from. Thought those were sunglasses, they were eyebrows. You asked me, there's only one food, and that's noodles. I got a new one too, so this time I just put a big chunk of salt in the bowl. Why pretend? El Dune's noodles is about salt. Salt forever. Animation, Kota Hukamachi, Takashi Yoshikawa. My exceptionally inquisitive nature has won me unequivocal adoration in my department. You see, they used to call me Wesley Stinkler and Wesley Sticky Hands. But no longer. I have a new name, one that reflects my true academic nature. Wesley Sicko reporting. Yes, curiosity is a sickness, and I'm the cure. Hydrate? Yeah, we could probably do that somehow. Translation: Alexander O. Smith, Annika C.K. Localization: Andrew Alfonso, Eric Bailey, Kaori Funakoshi, Brandon Gay, Ludo Nomura, Gianluigi Riccio, Enrique Serrano. Special thanks: Ryoji Yamamoto, Asuka Hashi. I don't know how to thank you for all you've done. Light has returned to my life, and with it, joy. I may have lost years, but I've gained a treasure. 2 treasures, in fact. I will think of them when I write my next song. Producer, Minae Matsukawa. Thank you for that treat. Brush. Here, back on the beat with another interview. How do I feel about how things turned out? No scoop yet, but journalist confidence in mint condition. End quote. Executive producer, Keiji Nafune.
We've decided to keep painting. Originals only, of course. I suppose you'll have to see a bit of the world outside to find what to paint. But I know there are good people out there now. I've met them. The door is open. The world is waiting. Thank you.
Ah, the before times. Original creator, series director, Shu Takumi. Mishu. Yes. Well, heck. Turnabout Succession awarded. Congrats, you've unlocked a special bonus on the music and background settings screen. AJAA Commemorative Kazuya Nori. Well, continue on to the next game. Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Dual Destinies. Phoenix Wright? No. Okay, so that is the next game. But it's not actually like the next game. We might play the intervening game before we continue on with these, but I don't know, and I have not sorted that out yet. But we're not going to go immediately to the next game. Anyway, this is the time we have, so we'll go ahead and call it here. This was Apollo Justice. It was fun.